issues.
That's the Black Velvet private stock.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome to the Sloppy Bro Show. I'm your host, Marcus. We're coming to you live Friday night, 8:30 p.m., like every week. Tonight, we've got our special guest, Victor, and it just so happens to be his birthday, so everybody wish him a happy birthday. We've also got Charles with us, and Victor, who's that you got with you?
This is Brian.
Brian. Well, welcome to the show, Brian.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump right in. You guys have been following the news here this week with this whole Jussie Smollet hoax, hate crime thing going on, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm aware of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit here and there. You know, I'm still a little uninformed, and I don't want to be, acting informed when I'm not. That's kind of the purpose there.
Right. Well, I'll go ahead and bring you up to speed. So apparently back in January, first of all, this Jussie Smollett dude, he's a dude on that show Empire on Fox, which is about, hip hop or rap. I don't know. I don't watch the shit. But anyway, he's some actor. Anyway, he plays the gay son of the record exec, and he used to be some childhood star. I think he was in the Mighty Ducks.
Really?
With Emilio Estevez, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think he was the little black kid on the Mighty Ducks. Anyway, he's all grown up now, or supposedly he claims to be a grown up. He sure as shit ain't acting like one. So, anyway, back in January, he's chilling in his, little Chicago area, little rich side of town, and he decides he's gonna go to Subway at 2:00 in the morning and get him a foot long, which is kind of funny. I wouldn't think he'd have to go to damn Subway to get a foot long, but whatever. I don't judge. So apparently on his way back, he gets jumped by these two dudes, and they beat the shit out of him, and they pour bleach on him, put a noose around his head, and of course these guys are wearing MAGA hats, so naturally we're talking about Trump supporters that are doing this because let's be honest, Trump supporters love to hang around in the rich side of Chicago at 2:00 in the morning when it's 20 degrees outside, wearing polar vortex, 'cause that's just how they roll. So, the police come to interview him. He's still got the damn noose around his neck. He asked them to turn their body cameras off, which for some reason they did. And he proceeds to, list his, what do they call it, statement, or what is it? Is that what they do when they talk?
It's a verbal statement.
Yeah, verbal statement, right. So now, Chicago PD, man, they take this shit seriously, Now, where it kind of gets funny is the Chicago PD wants his phone so that, they can look at his phone records and kind of help pinpoint, where the attack took place. They've been checking all the surveillance cameras and they can't find nothing. But they want his phone. Well, he don't want to give them the phone at first. He's like, no, you can't have my phone. You're like, well, hey, man, we need the phone because, we can get some clues and shit and help solve this shit because, you're a victim of hate crime, man. We're trying to help you. And he's like, well, give me a couple of days. So a couple of days later, he gives them the phone records, but they've been redacted. And they've gone through and blacked out a bunch of shit, which, that's kind of funny. Now, from the get-go, when all this happened, smart journalists weren't jumping to conclusions. Even though, from the beginning it sounded like bullshit, they weren't jumping to conclusions. But you had all these damn politicians like Kamala Harris, Booker,
Maxine
Waters, Cory Booker, everybody on Twitter saying, "Oh, this is disgusting." We send our love and support for Jussie. This is horrible. These damn Trump supporters, man. Trump's a bad president. All this shit. Everybody just throwing in their 2 cents. Then he goes on ABC and talks to damn Robin Roberts. I think that's her name. And, she's softballing him a bunch of damn questions. She's not doing any follow-up. But he's talking about how he stands up to 45. He's against 45, and he's the gay Tupac. And, the dude punched him, and he punched that fucker back. And, blah, 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 blah. So it turns into a whole media shitstorm for the last several weeks. Well, lo and behold, a few days ago, it turns out they figured out who jumped him. It was these two Nigerian brothers. Now, the cool thing about these Nigerian brothers is they work on the set of Empire in minor roles and as extras. Hell, one of the guys sells him ecstasy. He does. Well, they just, the cops start digging a little deeper. They grab these guys, bring them in. Next thing you know, they're like, oh, hell, this dude paid us. He paid us $3,500.
With a check.
Wrote us a check. Didn't pay cash. Wrote a check.
Fly one, isn't he?
I mean, how dumb is that?
Well, the funniest thing about that also is, so my brother works for Bank of America, and he has people coming in all the time that get scanned by specifically Nigerians. And these brothers are Nigerian. So the big funny scoop about it on the internet is the fact that the only time that the Nigerian scammers got scammed.
It's beautiful if you kind of think about it. So anyway, long story short, the cops have arrested his ass. They've charged him with, a fake crime. You damn right, Holly. Jobs, man. It's all about creating jobs. Now he's looking at some serious shit because, falsifying a police report, that's 3 years. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, over the next few damn days. It is.
Well, the one thing that I can't believe is how many the Democrats, supposedly leaders and politicians, are going to sit there and support this guy off of just a random claim, and then when they find out that it's false, none of them are ashamed or embarrassed. They're all like, oh, condemn him. He's a bad person. It's not because of what he did was wrong. It was because he's a bad person because they make us look bad.
You see, now they're starting to come out and say that, he did it to show, just how much hatred, and damn bullshit.
I heard he did it because he wasn't happy with his
going
weight.
on in America, how divided we are and how this is all Trump's fault. Because, Trump's evil. We all know that. He's, he's going to be the damn doom of the country and the world.
Go ahead. I'd heard that he did it because he wasn't happy with his wage.
Well, yeah, that's what they're trying to tell us. But I'm not buying that. He gets $60,000 per episode. How many episodes are in the season? At least 13.
Trying to boost things up, I think.
But I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
I think all this was a political job. We're ramping up for the 2020 election, so everybody's starting a damn campaign, announce their candidacies.
Well,
I think this is just something to smear Trump and make Trump supporters look bad.
And I can kind of agree with what he's saying. Maybe not so much wages on my side, but you got the guy as a public figure in a show as a gay public figure. It's a hate crime, and everybody's always trying to say Trump's against gays. So if anything, I could see it maybe not wages, but boosting his acting career as well.
I'm sure it probably plays a small role in it, but the reality is,
how can this guy on this TV show, not even like a famous actor like Denzel Washington or Brad Pitt or anything like that, just this guy on this TV show say one thing that he got jumped, and then all of the major Democrat politicians that are in the forefront of the news all of a sudden go to defend him.
And I'm going to agree with Holly here. I don't understand why they're not canceling the show like they did Roseanne over some stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah. And if you look at what Roseanne did, okay, first of all, Roseanne has come out and said that, she didn't even realize the person that she was talking about was black. She thought the person was white. She didn't even really say anything that I would consider to be, that racist,
Right.
But yet, not only do they fire her, they canceled the entire show and shit canned everybody on that damn cast in the beginning. So for weeks, they were all out of damn work. The entire damn program. you know. And then they bring the show back, and they don't leave, you know, they leave Roseanne out of it. Yeah. You know, so now Roseanne Barr's career is ruined, and for what? But yet this guy, they kick him out of the last 2 episodes. They haven't come out and said he's fired from Empire. They just said he's not going to be in the last 2 episodes for the season. You know, it's this whole double standard, you know, between damn conservatives and damn fucking Democrats. You know, it's like the extreme left gets away with everything, but yet we're the ones, you know, that are damn racist and homophobic and hateful. And it's the complete opposite. Like you were saying earlier, Victor. I mean, Trump's right now trying to damn make it to where they end the damn persecution of homosexuals all over the world. You know.
Yeah.
Did Obama ever try to do that? Did Bush ever try to do that? Nobody did that. You know, Trump. And look, I mean, you know, look at his damn pageants. You had Miss America and damn Miss Universe. Now, I'm not trying to be stereotyping here, but let's be honest. You know, with those kind of pageants, I'm sure they employ a lot of homosexuals, designers, you know, makeup artists, people. You know, Trump's behind all that shit.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing against gays. He's been dealing with homosexuals since, you know, I mean, hell, look at him. He's a billionaire. He hangs out with the damn celebrities and shit. He's been rubbing elbows with them for the last damn 30 damn years.
Well, according to everybody else, it wouldn't be rubbing elbows, it's grabbing asses.
If he wants to grab ass or get his ass grabbed, I ain't got no problem with that. It's good.
I had a friend tell me the other day that the demand for racism is higher than the supply.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Twitter this morning.
And it's pretty incredible whenever I get into chats with some of my liberal friends, and they're like, well, what about this, and this? And they always go back decades in the past. I'm like, so you're just not even about moving forward into the future. You're all about just staying in the damn past. And it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's not just that. It's with everything. Everybody wants to stay in the past over everything. Yeah, you know, some bad shit has happened in our history as a country. We've done some things that we should be ashamed of, you know, and that we should be sorry for. But, you know, we can't keep holding on to that shit. We've got to let it go so that we can move forward and start getting along together as damn people. You know, because I don't care what you do. I don't care who you love. I don't care who you marry. I don't care what your beliefs are. As long as you don't try to shove your shit down my throat and make me try to live that way and allow me to live my life, I don't care. We're not going to have any problems. I can get along with anybody.
I agree.
But when you start coming at me telling me that I've got to recognize your damn pronouns, even though I may believe there's only 2 genders, you know, no, sorry. If you want to dress up like a woman or a man, that's fine. Go for it. But I'm still calling you Steve.
It's bad how bad that's got out of hand. You know, we were reading you on our insurance earlier today. They've actually got a selection on your insurance package now when you add a child, if it's male, female, or undecided. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, you know, you may not be able to say it's male or female, but I'm pretty sure it's still got a dick.
I mean, it is what it is. Science is science, and you know, it's funny. My only thing on it is whenever a lot of these conversations come up, you know, about many other things, you know, everyone wants to, you know, and I'm not trying to sound religious, but you know, everybody wants to try to throw, you know, hey, we can't prove God exists because we can't scientifically prove it, but then when we can prove there's 2 genders, they want to disprove science. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword at this point.
It's like they shift stuff to what they want to believe and what they want to think versus what reality is and logic.
Exactly.
It's and not all of them are like that. There's a lot of Democrat liberals that aren't, but it just seems right now, when you look at the whole political system, these leftists that are in are going so far left, they're dragging the whole Democratic Party, and a lot of these people are like, hey, wait a second, we didn't vote for you to do all of this shit. And it is out of hand. It's ridiculous. The whole country's transforming in the blink of an eye, and it's turning into this massive, like, political war that has even been turning somewhat violent in the streets during supposedly peaceful protests. And it's all because the way the media portrays it and the way the political left party, and there's things wrong with the right party in some sense, but the left party's literally like going off the bandwagon. They've like adopted criminal insanity as the fact. Like, this is how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be insane. If you don't kiss a transgender male, then there's something wrong with you.
I will say that I find what you said, you know, and this is just me playing devil's advocate a little bit here, but, you know, I find what you said there to be, you know, true. I think the biggest problem that we've got, and feel free to argue the point, but I feel like the biggest problem we've got is I've noticed a lot of these people that I hear you describing, in my opinion, and I am a Republican, I don't care, but in my opinion, are the younger generation, which are truly just misinformed. And, you know, some of the older generation where it's separated, you know, I think in the grand scheme of things, we're on the same page, just a little different views there. However, you know, the younger kids nowadays, and I chalk it up to, you know, bad parenting of friends that have good, you know, people that have good parenting. Some people don't, and they just want to follow that, you know, hey, this is what everybody's doing. You know, I've had conversations with many of them to where, you know, they don't realize they're actually promoting communism. Not even being, you know, liberal, not even being Democrat or Republican. They're actually promoting communism blindly and don't realize it. And, you know, to me, it's a lot of the younger generation. I really wish that, you know, the schools and you know, the parents and stuff would make them more informed of facts, you know, not just what the media says, you know, what actually is happening.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that 100%. But kind of going back to the Jussie Smollet situation, you know, that Chicago, I don't know if you saw what the Chicago superintendent said about it. You know, one of the worst things, you know, perpetuating this hoax is it's now going to make it more difficult for people that actually are a victim of a hate crime to come forward. Because now if somebody comes forward, you know, the first thing that's going to pop in your head, okay, is this a real thing or is this, you know, a fake? Because, I mean, I was reading an article today. You'd be amazed how many of these damn fake hate crimes are being perpetuated on a damn daily basis. You know, I mean, it's crazy. And it's all because of their blind hatred for Trump, because they want to get Trump out by any means necessary. You know, and it's bullshit. You know, when he first started running, everybody came out, you know, because they could see that he had a damn shot. You know, they didn't want to admit it. Everybody's like, oh, he ain't never going to be president. Ain't no damn chance in hell he's ever going to win. He's polling at damn, you know, 10%, 20%. You know, his numbers are horrible. Don't nobody want him, you know. But yet, look what happened come the election. Everybody just kind of kept their mouth shut and said, you know what, I'm voting for this motherfucker. I'm just not going to tell nobody. And boom, he wins. So now he's in the White House and everybody's like, oh shit. Now they feel like dumbasses because they came out and said, oh, he'll never be president. So what are they going to do? Now they're going to try to do anything they can to get rid of him, which he ain't going nowhere. You know, the damn Russian collusion thing is going to be a damn hoax. They're going to find out when Mueller releases that damn report in 2 weeks. You know, once he gets back from his visit with North Korea. But I will say this for Trump. You know, I didn't vote for him. You know, I ain't going to lie. You know, I voted Bernie Sanders. You know, because, you know, up until this shit, you know, I've been pretty much I was a lifelong Democrat, you know, damn liberal. But after this happened, Trump became president, everybody coming out trying to damn censor free speech and trying to shut people down for their damn, opinions and damn viewpoints. And I saw how damn rabid the left had become. I mean, it literally forced me over because I started thinking, well, shit, if everybody's so damn against this motherfucker, he must be doing something right. And I will say this for the man. Everything that he ran on, he's done, or he's tried to get done. And I can't think of a president that did that. I mean, I voted for Obama based on the whole hope and change. I really bought into that shit. But after 8 years, I didn't see no damn hope, and I sure as shit didn't see any fucking change. As a matter of fact, I think shit has gotten worse because of Obama.
I know. I want to address what Holly added in on here there that guys are saying they're female and raping women in jails. The one thing that bothers me the most about this whole, and I'm all about, hey, you do you and all that stuff. But the one thing I wanted to address about that, just answering to her comment there, was that my biggest fear is what happens when you've got, and me being a father of two daughters, what happens when you got this guy that rapes your daughter and he's in court and all I identify as an 8-year-old girl. And if it's accepted in society, then what do we do then? It's getting really out of hand. And I would agree with what she has to say there, it's, the whole situation is getting out of hand, really.
Oh yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean, never in my entire life did I ever think that we'd be dealing with the shit that we're dealing with today. I mean, it has literally just gone fucking ape shit crazy, in my opinion. I mean, between these damn fake hate crimes that are popping up, that are taken away from the real hate crimes that are occurring. Which I don't understand. I don't see how hard it is for us as people just to get along. I think a lot of it stems from the damn Democrats because they need us to be divided. They need us to hate one another so that they can, retain, what little bit of power that they have. They don't want people picking themselves up by the damn bootstraps and making a damn good life for themselves. They want people to be dependent on the damn system and on the damn government. They do. They want you sucking on that tit, getting just the bare minimum that you need to survive and to keep watching these fucking damn reality bullshit TV shows like the goddamn Kardashians and the fucking Apprentice, and all that dumb shit that is just, poisoning the damn minds of American people. Real talk. Hashtag.
Yeah. Grabbing another beer, sorry.
Hell yeah. But I think we as Republicans, I think we need to start doing more. I think we need to start coming out of the closet, so to speak, and getting the damn message out.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, and we've got the whole Libertarian Party, which I'm a part of, on the side of the Republicans, and that's crazy that you have someone that wants to be center and try to agree with everybody. Now it's like, well, we don't even want anything to do with the left because they've gotten so out of hand, and it's not anymore. It's not about, normally how politics work is you as a representative or you as a senator, you're supposed to represent your area of the state as a representative or your state in general as a senator. Now they're going off the complete bandwagon and not even caring about certain voters within that realm, and they're only doing stuff against Trump. And it's incredible to see this because all the stuff that Trump's doing, the jobs, the security of the country, is all for the people. And they're, let's just let everybody in. Like, that's not how you are sovereign. That is not how you hold security. And that's not how you help the people that are already inside of your country. That's how you hurt all of that. And the biggest thing that upsets me is how many of my friends I have lost. Not because we disagree on politics, but because they are so blind and they don't want to listen, and all they want to do is follow what the news says, that they don't even take their own friends' advice. And when you try to tell them something to help them out, all they do is freak out, have an episode like a child, and then delete you from Facebook, never talk to you, and talk shit about you behind your back. And it just goes to show you how much of an influence media is in the world today, and it is completely destroying the young minds who are growing up.
Damn right.
So, we're 30 minutes into the show, so how about the most beautiful sound in the world? You ready?
Go ahead. You ain't gonna get no argument from me there, bud.
America!
We showed respect. We waited till you were done talking. Here's you.
All right, so we're all pretty much in agreement that this whole Jussie Smollet story is bullshit. His ass needs to go to damn jail. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few weeks, especially when this shit goes to court. So, moving on, let's talk about this, my favorite person right now, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. She's the new congressman that won the, I'm not sure the district. I want to say it was New York 14 or 19, but it's part Queens, part Brooklyn. Anyway, used to be a bartender. Now she's a congresswoman. She's making $174,000 a year, and she's a socialist. She's for socialism. She believes that, you know, the rich need to damn give all their money to the damn poor, and you know, we need to damn do away with gas cars, and we need to do electric and wind power, and you know, put an end to fossil fuels and damn nuclear power, and we need to stop cow farts and, you know, all this dumb shit. You know, but here's what I find funny about this chick, right? She's run on this damn platform for the working class that, you know, we need to damn help the people that can't help themselves. Even if they're not willing to work, you know, we need to take care of them. You know, this is what this person believes. But yet here she is. Now she's a congressman, $174,000 a year. And she just moved into, I got to tell you, it's pretty nice. I'm impressed. I wouldn't mind living there. This damn swanky-ass, posh apartment complex in Washington, D.C. called the Navy Yard. I mean, this place is nice. So nice, in fact, that to build it, they had to push out all the poor minorities to make it happen. You know, because them millennials, they got to have someplace nice to sit and drink their fucking Starbucks and surf on their damn Apple laptops and damn iPads and shit, you know, because you can't just do that in the damn slums.
Hey, man, I'm in the slums on the iPad right now. Come on, man.
I'm just saying, we're Americans. You know, we don't mind. I'm telling you, these millennials, they can't hang with it.
I'm just picking. I'm not in the slums. I can't. I'm not in the slums. I can't.
It's okay, man. It's okay.
But he moved
We
in
accept
next
everybody.
We're hanging out, and then I'm a member of the slums.
So anyway, you got this bitch now. She's, you know, living the fucking high life. Better than she probably ever has in her entire existence, but yet she still got the damn nerve to damn tell people, oh, you got to put an end to this capitalism shit. You need to be into socialism. You know, we need to do this, that, but yet she's going the completely opposite. Just like Bernie Sanders. You know, he likes to talk how corrupt it is, but yet how many $1 million homes does old Bernie have now? 3? I don't
know the number at
yeah,
all.
I think he's got 3 $1 million homes. Please feel free to fact check me. You know. Hey, what's going on, Billy? Welcome to the show, man. Feel free to join in at any time. You know, but he's doing pretty damn good for himself for somebody that don't like money and don't like, you know, capitalism.
Yeah.
But again, you know, it's this whole do as I say, not as I do mentality. And it's running rampant in damn Congress and the damn Senate. You know, more so on the left. But, you know, let's be honest, there's some guys on the right doing that shit too. You know.
Trump offended them, so now they're gonna go in with their Democrat buddies and try to stage a coup and everything.
You see, that's the beauty about Trump. Yeah, he's a billionaire. Yeah, he lives in gaudy houses with damn lots of gold trim and shit, but he ain't never lied about it. He's accepted it. But you know what he said? He said, hey, If you want to bust your ass and work hard enough, you can have this shit too if that's what you want. I'm not going to try to keep you from having it. But yet these other assholes, that's what they want to do. They want to keep you from having it. And that's why they hate him. Because you know what? Yeah, he is an asshole. He is a prick. Hell, I don't even say he's a fucking douchebag. But he's honest about it. He don't deny it. Yeah, he gonna grab you by the pussy. Because you know why? You're a gold digging whore. And that's what gold digging whores want. Hashtag real talk. I mean,
so with AOC, the stuff that she's brought to the table is completely mind-boggling in the lack of intelligence. I honestly cannot believe that she got into the Democratic Party and she doesn't even like pretend to be smart. She literally, everything she says is so far-fetched and so incredibly ignorant. It blows my mind. She wants to make a $40 trillion, well, at first, now it's a $15 trillion. But the original $40 trillion Green Deal. So the one that's on now is $15 trillion over 10 years. That's adding to the already incredible deficit that we have. $1.5 trillion per year. That is completely unmanageable by any type of money system. And for her to completely do away with our entire use of energy, all it would do is destroy everything we have ever created and turn it into a complete wasteland. And it's obvious. Anybody that has any type of intelligence on economics or anybody that actually works with their hands and builds and creates stuff knows that you can't run mineral and rock quarry with e-cars. You can't run a farm to create meat and produce without having some cow farts. The solar energy only works to a minimum perspective, and the amount of money it takes to create solar panels is absolutely incredible.
Well,
wind turbines have already proven to be almost useless, and not only that, but they talk about wildlife conservation. The birds of prey and bats think those turbines are some sort of object in the air that they need to attack, and in California they're getting killed by them in drastic rates.
You hear that, people? They're killing the birds. The fucking birds, man.
And then they want to halt the airlines. So what's that going to do? That's going to make all of our international relations go to complete shit, which they're so globalist. Apparently they want to keep that. It just makes absolutely zero sense. Zero. Not 1%, not 2%, zero. And anybody that agrees with it, and then these dumbasses put her on the financial planning board. Like you can't even plan a grocery list. I mean, how is she supposed to take care of our country? It's absolutely mind-boggling.
She don't even understand how the branches of government work or what they are.
They could run a diesel engine.
So I'm going to be.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to run for Congress.
Look, I'm going to be devil's advocate one last time on the show tonight, and that's going to be the solar thing. I'm actually for solar personally, and that says a lot because I'm like totally on page with everything else. But me personally, I'm on board with solar. Now, here's what I'm not on board with solar. Is the power companies won't let you use it without them making profit off of it, or they just won't let you use it. I feel like that individuals should strive to do that. I mean, hell, why not? Like for instance, North Carolina. North Carolina gets their power solely from nuclear power plants. Remember
the coal ash incident?
Yeah, the coal ash incident and stuff like that.
It's coal.
But what I'm saying is my standpoint on it, coming from a job where I used to clean up hazardous materials and stuff. That's like I-40 here from Burlington all the way to Raleigh is is tested positive for gamma radiation from where tankers have leaked out trying to dispose of this nuclear waste and stuff like that. So,
Okay,
you
well,
know,
hold on 1 second. Hold on. What's wrong with gamma radiation? I mean, look at Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Some good came out of that shit.
I mean, on a fictional standpoint, then nothing's wrong with it. Yeah, sign me up. Let me get bit by a nuclear spider or something, and I'll be happy.
Well,
But
so the solar is a good way to go about new types of energy. But the problem is this Green Deal is literally taking everything, demolishing all sources of energy, and swapping it for new stuff as if that's going to work. That's like saying, we'll take a completely off spectrum as an analogy for it, but I'm a former Marine infantryman with 2 deployments to Iraq, so we'll go back to Vietnam. When they scrapped the M14 and gave all the guys the M16A1s, completely new weapon systems, not trained, they died in droves because they didn't know what they were doing with the gun, and the gun kept failing. And that's not a way to take an entire country that's supposed to be the greatest country on the planet and just throw it out there and flip it. Let's just try not gas. That's not going to work. You gotta introduce it.
So coming from an electrical background, though, on the solar panels, yeah, I mean, I think it needs to slowly be introduced. However, in a positive note on that, you know, like my house, I could literally put solar panels all over the roof of my house and actually backfeed and actually power half of Thomasville just off my one house.
And you have a crossover installed. And Duke Energy would actually have to pay him money for any excess energy that he backfeeds into the system.
Now, with that being said, if we were to switch over to solar throughout the country, that would be less space taken up by power companies that we could add in other businesses. We could do other things, and essentially power would be cheaper.
Well, I don't have an issue with solar power. Yeah, I believe solar power can work in conjunction with fossil fuels.
Correct.
But solar power by itself,
give up fossil
I don't think we're nowhere near the technology for that to happen.
We don't have solar cars.
You know,
but
we can't get to work.
We can go a little farther than we are. Biodiesel. You had mentioned that the heavy machinery, all the new green energies wouldn't be feasible for like heavy instruments for construction. Biodiesel, it's the vegetable oil that the restaurants throw away that end up in a landfill.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the biodiesel is also destroying engines that it's being put into, though.
That was 1990s tech. Now they run cleaner, longer, more horsepower, better fuel economy.
Well, yeah. And as the years progress and the technology advances, it'll get better. But what I'm saying is, we're always going to need some form of, fossil fuel.
It's more of
fossil fuels were created during the Pleistocene age. No more coal is being made. There is no more oil being made.
Yeah, man.
So it will run out. But it may not be as bad as the ultra-liberals say, but we do need to go faster than we have been. Not
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Full tilt boogie, but it's not something to make fun of or malign. It's something that needs to be phased in, and it creates jobs.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think the issue that we were talking about was her $15 trillion Green New Deal that doesn't phase it in. It eliminates everything that was already there completely out.
And it only gives us 12 years.
10 years, I think. Maybe it is 12.
I think it's 12.
I could see it happening.
Which will bankrupt the country.
I could see it happening in 25 to 50. But maybe not 10 to 12.
Yeah. Agreed.
My dog's crying.
Yeah, go ahead, let it be. You know, but here's the other thing too. Okay, you know about this whole global warming, climate change thing. Okay.
Well, I mean, our weather right now is proving that to be
What?
wrong.
What's that?
I said our weather right now is proving that to be wrong.
Well, I'm not saying it's not changing. I'm just saying it's not changing at the rate that they're trying to put on us. Okay, because here's the thing. Okay, if you look at the world financial institutions, okay, if it was really the threat that they're trying to make it out to be, and if we're at a point, you know, where there's no turning back, and you know we're looking at, you know, total global, you know, apocalypse, do you really think that the world banking institutions would be giving out loans, 30, 40, 50-year mortgages to build developments, houses, communities? You know, do you think they'd be investing that money if they thought there was a chance they weren't going to get it back due to some, you know, climate collapse? No, they wouldn't. You know, the truth is they know more about this shit than we do, because they're spending the damn money to figure it out, because they're all about investing, you know, and they're not going to make investments in things if there's any chance that they're going to take a loss.
I will agree that the banks run off statistics.
You know, so I mean, it's going to be a long time, and not only that, but I mean, even before the Industrial Revolution, even the Earth had changed, you know, due to damn ice ages, damn, you know, asteroid impacts. I mean, there ain't nothing that we're going to do as a human race that's going to destroy the Earth. The Earth is always going to be here. Now, like George Carlin said, you know, we might be fucked. You know,
kill each other.
You know, we might kill each other. You know, but the Earth's going to be fine, and it's going to keep carrying on like it always has. It's a self-healing, you know, ecosystem.
That is good.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's waiting for you to listen.
Well, so back on to Alexandria Cortez. She's already been caught in a million lies and exaggerating the truth, and she also says things that don't make any sense. Specifically, she didn't even know how the government works. So her job was a bartender before. I'm not sure what else she did before that, but she got literally voted in based on promises to people within her district and within the state of New York for free shit. And that's really what her whole platform was I'm going to fix everything, free health care for everybody, free this, free that, free that, this, free that. And what happens is, who pays for that? Oh, well, the rich people. Well, if you take all the rich people in the United States,
which is
and
1%,
have them pay for everything, it still does not even balance our annual defense budget.
No, we haven't read the last one.
Even what's his name? Jeff Bezos. So Jeff Bezos is worth $120 billion right now, and the annual defense budget. Does anybody know?
That'd be a lot better than this.
Oh shit! I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head.
It's more than that.
You over the cigar already?
So he's the richest man on the entire planet.
Amen?
And he couldn't even really put a dent on the annual defense deficit that we have.
Nobody can.
And so for her to come up with this Green New Deal that's $15 trillion within 12 years, that's an extra $1 trillion drain on our economy per year that goes to what? It goes to government intervention into our current energy system, which means a bunch of money's going to get lost. Trust me, I've seen it in Afghanistan. Oops, we paid the Afghans and this one militia not to shoot at us this many $1 million, and I went straight to the Taliban. And it's just not, it's not a logical, sensible solution to our current problem. So the one thing that the Democrats normally do have is a good energy like a good alternative energy plan. This time they have none. They have the Green New Deal, which basically says, hey, let's change everything, spend a bunch of money on alternative energy sources within 12 years, which is not, that's her thinking in a time spectrum of 12 years from now, somebody's going to shake my hand and say, yeah, I did all this. That's her spectrum. This takes, like you said, like 25 to 30 years at least to complete just a solar energy platform that can help take over our current nuclear energy. So it's just a non-feasible plan, and she's portraying this across the entire United States, and people are buying this. It's like, how many fucking people are this fucking retarded? Or is everybody dumb now? Can I even have a decent conversation?
Can I get an amen?
And it's just absolutely ludicrous that someone like this is then put in charge of the financial committee. Yeah, let's give you the taxpayer money so you can just go wildly spend it on dreams that don't exist and don't even have an idea how to do it. And then the whole, we need to stop the cows. Like, what? That one doesn't even make any sense. Let's go over to the Middle East and stop the camel farts while we're at it too. What else is next? People stop farting now. It's like a South Park episode. It's just absolutely incredible that this is the type of intelligence we're seeing from the Democratic Party.
So I will say that I'm a little extreme on the Middle East. There's what is it? And I'm sorry, my wife's standing here at this moment. So was it Dubai? Dubai. I kind of like their government system in Dubai in a way. Maybe not all their laws, because their laws are way too strict. But I do like how they handle problems. You know, I mean, it's the only thing you ever hear me say that I like about the Middle East. But, you know, it's like I saw a story about this guy that raped this girl, man. You know, they had no mercy. Like, I feel like that if our government would have a little bit more stricter laws on capital crimes, and I consider rape a capital crime.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion,
child
molestation, stuff like that. You know, I feel like that that things would definitely start turning over in the country. Personally,
you got to be careful though, because you know, I get what you're saying, and I agree with it.
Well,
the problem is though, you've got instances though. I mean, look how many men have been falsely accused of rape.
And I agree. I agree. 100%. I feel like that there is a comfortable medium that needs to be met, if that makes sense. I mean,
it does, but how do you figure that out? That's the question.
Well, and this is true as well. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But you know, I will say that you know, like I said, I feel like that on certain things where the evidence is irrefutable, you know, we need to be stricter about certain things. That alone would help. You know, I definitely agree with the wall, you know, and stuff like that. Personally, I think the only thing, and I'm just trying to touch base on a couple things real quick, but I think the only thing that I would say that I feel like if I was in Trump's position that I would do differently is, we got all these guys that are in prison that we as workers pay a lot of money to help feed them and all that stuff. Hey man, send them out there, build the damn wall. If you want to run, go towards Mexico. Don't come back. Go towards Mexico. You can run all you want to, but if not,
yeah. But you know, a lot of those guys in prison right now are already being used for cheap labor by other corporations.
That's true as well, you know, but use it for the bigger, better picture is my point. You know, like, I understand they use them for roadside cleanup and stuff like that. You know, I think it should be sanctioned a little differently. Like, you know, jails could handle the small things. Prisons where these guys are, you know, lifers, send them out there to build a damn wall.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm all for that.
You know what I mean? And that would cut down cost, in my opinion, that would cut down cost and capital on the government side of things. I mean, But, you know, I mean, I could see some changes that could be made. However, I'm all about the wall, man. I got a fence in my backyard. You know, it's not because I don't like my neighbors. I mean, it's not because I don't like my neighbors. It's to separate my shit from their shit. You know, I keep up my shit. He keeps up his shit. We're good. You know what I mean? There's a gate on that fence, and he's more than welcome to cross over that gate if I allow him to, and I do. He's here. You know, it is what it is. I mean, however, you know, yeah. I think we had. Have we covered the what was the last subject we were going to cover there?
That would be what's his name, Hayden Williams.
Yeah, I'm
Hayden
interested. I know nothing about that one, so I'm very interested about the topic.
Okay, so Hayden Williams was at the University of California at Berkeley, and he was working with Turning Point USA, which is a conservative, you know, group started by Charlie Kirkman. Anyway, they were handing out literature, and basically they were talking about, you know, the whole Jussie Smollet hate hoax crime. Anyway, some leftists didn't like what they were doing, went up to the guy, you know, started running his mouth talking shit, at which point Hayden pulled out his camera and started filming, to which the guy smacked the camera out of his hand and then grabbed his backpack and then was, you know, calling him names, and then out of nowhere sucker punched him right in the damn eye. You know, it was a pretty damn cheap shot, actually. Hey, what's going on there, Aunt Debbie? And the dude walked off, called him a fucking cunt, and, you know, just got out of the damn area. But it just goes to show the left's intolerance, you know, towards anybody with a conservative opinion, you know, or thought or whatever. They are unable to damn articulate or have a damn decent civil conversation to argue their point. They'll stand there with their signs, and if you go up to them and ask them to explain their signs, they won't or they can't, because they honestly don't know what the hell they're doing. They just know they've been told by somebody that that's what they need to think and that's what they need to do.
NPC.
You know, NPCs, exactly. You know, the only thing they can do is lash out and take cheap shots. You know, which is why you've got groups like the Proud Boys. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of these guys or follow them anywhere. You know, but they're in the damn media as being this damn alt-right, racist, you know, homophobic group. When in reality, they're nothing of the sort. You know, they were pretty much there to help conservatives by providing them some form of protection against Antifa, you know, so that they could speak their mind and say what they had to say without damn fear of recourse from these damn, you know, domestic terrorists with their damn black masks, you know. But that's a topic for another time, so I'm not going to get into that. But my point being is, you know, it is time for us as damn conservatives, Republicans, to start standing up for ourselves, you know, and not tolerating this kind of damn physical, you know, and domestic violence, you know, because it's bullshit. You know.
Us conservatives, most of us have families, kids, wives, so our realm primarily revolves around our family. And then after that, it branches out to our friends. And then from there, it branches out into politics. The problem I see with a lot of these leftist groups is they don't have any fucking friends or family members. Their family members are somewhere else. They're at these college campuses or saying whatever they have to. They're the bartenders and servers of the area that you live around. They get people drunk, and they don't actually provide a service that builds and creates. And they always get in groups because they need extra stuff, or they feel ashamed because of the people that they serve and bartend all the time are people that are black or Hispanic or some sort of oppressed minority, so to say. and they feel bad for them, and they want to join a movement to make themselves feel better about themselves. So they join these big, huge protests, and now they're attacking people. And it's pretty insane that this is what it has come to. Normally, you do not see one of these leftists attacking people and doing this stuff if they have a wife and kids. As a father, as a husband, you don't go out and do that stuff because you're endangering your family at that point. So when you look at the whole forming America and creating a place that's tolerant for everybody, these are the type of people that are doing it, even though they're preaching it. It's almost like what Marcus was saying about do as I say, not as I do. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. They're going out there, they're hitting people because they don't agree with them, because they don't know what to be a part of. So, well, let's go join this movement and hold a sign and yell at something that we don't like because we can. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it wasn't like that here 10 years ago. It wasn't like it. It wasn't like it is now.
We'll grab me another beer. I'll be right back.
Beer run.
This is Blitz, by the way. Blitz, come here.
You going to Blitz or you going to stand? Okay.
You going over there? Come here. Hey. Come here. That's my point.
Yeah.
As far as this one guy goes, I don't know who he is, but I've seen it plenty of times where guys are getting hit and beat up. Like you see the 2 Marines in D.C. that were on liberty that went to walk out in downtown, and they got beat up because Antifa thought they were someone else. And the 2 guys were Hispanic United States Marines. And they got beat up by like 6 dudes. And they eventually arrested guys, but then you don't see it in the media. But God forbid somebody on the right wing defends themselves. And now all of a sudden it's like this freaking hate crime, man. It's crazy.
You know, and the thing that gets me, I mean, you know, especially regarding the Proud Boys, if you look at them, they're comprised of, you know, Hispanics, blacks, whites, Jews, Christians, Muslims. They are literally all kinds of damn religions and different cultures, but yet they're still labeled a damn racist hate group. It makes no sense. But you know, that's the damn narrative that the damn SPLC and the damn media want to push. And it's ridiculous.
Well, you know, I would say that it's all. I'm kind of hesitant to get on the religion side of things, but yeah, we've got all these different religions. They all add up to in my opinion, they all add up to the same thing. But you know, hey, there's so much going on that honestly, I think it all reverts back to people being uninformed or misinformed
Or radicalized.
or radicalized. Exactly.
Because all the religions, if they were moderate and held their beliefs but didn't push it on other people, we'd be all a happier world. You get radical Muslims, radical Jewish, radical Christian even.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all religions have some kind of radical sect. I don't argue that at all.
Problems. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes.
No, I agree. And that's a lot of what we've talked about. You know, yeah. It's, to me, it's all about brotherly love. You know, hey, we're all here together, and at the end of the day, we're all going to die the same way that everybody else does. And
Exactly.
If these people would understand that and just realize that, hey, it's a team effort. If we don't if we don't pull together as a team, and I know right now, in our state, it's like Duke and Carolina. We got Duke and Carolina. Hey, it is what it is. It's rivals, and it's this competition. But at the end of the day,
You're both North Carolina.
we're all North Carolinians. It's just like this country. No matter Democrat, Republican, whatever, they need to realize we're all in it for the same reason. We want the place to be a better place. But I think the biggest problem is the misinformation or the lack of information.
And I agree with that 100%.
And something I would stress to any viewers that see this is, do your research. Really do your research. Weigh out the options. And my biggest thing personally is especially with just general conversation. There's always two sides to a story, and then there's truth. Find your own truth.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to lie, somewhere in between, and they're going to learn that hey, one side is closer to what I believe than the other. But the problem is, hey, just because my neighbor here is
Damn Yankee.
a Yankee, and I'm assuming a Democrat.
I am a registered Republican.
Oh, okay. See, I was
I'm
wrong.
old school liberal Republican. We're almost extinct.
But either way, my point is I've never cared. The guy's got some good points. I've got some good points. Y'all got some good points. And at the end of the day, as I've said before, and I know that wasn't live, the ability to share our opinions and still be 100% cool with having a beer at the end of the day with each other. That to me is what it's all about at this point, because the country has got a and I blame it on media and TV. The country has got a fucking common sense.
Oh yeah,
and that's the biggest problem. We the schools are dumbing things down with this Common Core stuff and whatever. They dumb it down to make everybody seem smarter, this and that, whatever. And
teachers aren't allowed to get zeros.
Yeah.
Now Davidson County hasn't done that yet, but there are counties around us, Davidson County, North Carolina, where teachers have been fired because they gave zeros when homework wasn't turned in. Yeah. And they said the lowest you can give is a 50. Bullshit.
And at that point, we're in that whole scenario. Hey, look, I got a trophy. I participated. Hey, look, man, I grew up old school. I know all of us did. Hey, look, man, if I got this trophy, I did something good. And I had to work for it. And I feel like that's where we're at. My kids, I make them work for their stuff. I know Brian does. I know you do the same thing, Marcus. I'm not sure if has kids, but either way, that's the problem. There's too many people that are misinformed, uninformed, and everything's handed to them at this point in time. And, that's why I go back to what I was saying earlier. I think that it all falls down to good parenting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good parenting.
Hell yeah.
The thing that sucks is, when these kids grow up and they get out of high school and then they go to college, and then you've got these damn professors that are pushing their own agenda, onto these kids, these impressionable young adults.
And these kids are unprepared to understand their own agenda.
Well, a lot of these big, huge colleges, the professors were the, super activists during the hippie movement for the Vietnam War. That's a fact.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Basically what it boils down to is I don't care what country you're from. If you're from Russia, China, America, India, Pakistan, whatever, Middle East, whatever. I think basically as human beings, we all want the same thing. We want to live in peace. We want to take care of our children and watch them grow up to become better adults than we were. And
And
it's these damn politicians,
Career politician.
these career politicians everywhere, not just in the United States, but everywhere, that are trying to prevent that shit from happening. Because when it comes down to it, if you were actually to sit down with somebody that's supposed to be your enemy and have a damn honest talk, you'd find out that you have a lot more in common than you realize.
exactly. And, you know, I feel like just building on what you just said was not only that the what you said about being a parent wanting more, but having more. You know, my kids, you know, I'm not doing bad for myself, but I hope that they learn from the lessons that I teach them. I hope that they learn from the lessons that they learned from the neighbor or from you, or if Charles is there, from him. You know, I hope they learn from the lessons and progress themselves further than all of us. I really do. And, you know, that just
do more, be better than the next, each generation being a little better.
Exactly.
Can I get an amen?
I like your buttons.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, the sound effects make the show, I think.
I'm live on Facebook and YouTube right this second. Yeah, I'm live on Facebook and YouTube right this second. Huh?
He's on the phone.
I mean, you can go on my page. I shared it
move
on
on.
my page.
We can keep talking.
I'm gonna step away for a second.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But I am the
Are you good?
liberal in the in the room right now.
Well, you did say you were from up north, so no surprise there.
Yep, Northwest Pennsylvania,
What part of Pennsylvania?
Erie.
Okay.
Erie. Now Charles sounds like he's got a Yankee accent.
New Jersey.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey Charles.
I wish I'd have known that before I let you in the house.
Yes, sir.
Hey Charles.
Yes, sir.
What exit you live off of?
Do what?
What exit did you live off of?
What accent? What did
Yeah, what accent did you live off of?
Well, that's a Jersey joke. All the neighborhoods are right off the interstate, and they would say, "What exit do you live off of?"
I'm from Long Branch.
Yeah. Okay. I was cows and corn.
Cows and corn. Did you have any Amish in your area?
Oh, Amish and Mennonite.
Oh, the Mafia. The Mennonite Mafia.
Mennonite.
Magnite Mafia. They got some damn show on the damn, what is it, CW? Where it's about the damn Amish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Mafia or whatever.
My parents were having a hissy fit going, that's so much bullshit. Because, you know, we were townies, not... I say Erie because nobody knows where, it's like you're local, so...
Yeah, man.
I grew up in a town like
Yeah, go to the
Denton.
refrigerator, bud. Help yourself.
I grew up in a
I got
small...
one. Actually, here, shit, man. Take this one.
I grew up like in a small town like Denton. So I say Erie.
Right.
Yeah. But I was a townie, but the country folks all had to deal with, and it wasn't a hardship. They're pretty good folk, the Amish and Mennonite. Really hard working. I don't
like
want
the fireplaces that they
to
make.
your
The red ones.
Go steer the show.
It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool, man. Like I said, you gotta
I used to do a bunch of training up at Fort Indian Town Gap when I was contracting. I know that's like north of Harrisburg near Hershey.
Yeah. That'd be the South Central area.
Yeah.
Now I'm let's put it this way. After I turned 18, I'd go to Canada and party. Right by Lake Erie. Well, don't lose any listeners.
No, we got one watching right now, and on Facebook. I got one watching on YouTube, and I can't really tell how many I got watching on Twitch right now.
What was your curiosity? Peek behind the veil. What was your peak so far tonight?
I want to say we had 6 involved, and right now, how many comments? Shit, we had quite a few comments actually.
Actually, yeah, he was scrolling them.
We did. So yeah, tonight actually turned out to be a pretty good show.
I was actually
a couple of new subscribers and got some new friend requests on Facebook. So yeah, it's been a pretty good, successful show, I think, so far.
It's all because of you.
Hate spell because obviously between the 4 of us, I'm the most progressive.
Well, you know what? I mean, there's nothing wrong being progressive, man. Everybody's entitled to their viewpoint and their opinion. That, I think we just, as long as we get to the point where we can agree to disagree, I think that's great. But I think when one side, whether it be the left or the right, tries to shut down the other and keep them from being able to express their opinion or their viewpoint, I think that's where we've got a problem.
Agreed.
And that's my biggest problem right now with the left.
Both sides feel that way a little bit.
There's no sense in it,
Yeah. And I like myself, I felt boxed out, shut out by my own party as the party progressed. Charles mentioned how far left the left has drifted. The right has got a lot more right. I'm 49 now, and I registered to be a Republican because I really like Reagan, showing my age. And the Republicans have drifted quite a bit right themselves, where they started leaving me behind, where there used to be liberal and moderate Republicans. And the one fault I will say about the Republican Party that I have is that they're forgetting the history of the whole United States. At one time, there were liberal Republicans, moderate Republicans, and conservative Republicans. And there were conservative Democrats, moderate Democrats, and liberal Democrats. Now, Democrats have to be liberal, and Republicans have to be conservative. People in my party calling me a rhino, Republican in name only, because I'm not a huge Trump fan, and I was not a huge G.W. Bush fan either. The last Republican that was in office that I really liked would be George Sr. And, of course, Reagan. But people are forgetting Republican, it was not supposed to mean conservative. There are 3 spectrums for both parties. There always were up until 1995-ish, and the fact that they're losing that. And a big thing happened, the Republicans got a big boost, a little history lesson. I'm trying to put some filler in here. I said I was going to be quiet, but he's back down, but I'll go ahead and just finish. The Republicans gained a big boost in the Southeast, where we live. The Dixie Democrats did not appreciate Johnson with the Civil Rights Act, and the Dixie Democrats, which were very conservative Democrats. They all renounced the Democratic Party and switched over to the Republican Party, and it caused a big shift. But I just bring that up to point out the fact that it used to be, in my parents' lifetime, Democrats that were ultra-conservative. And there were Republicans that were progressive in certain things, but they were physically not like phys ed, physically, F-I-S-I-C-A-L, physically conservative and military conservative. And there were Republicans, but they were liberal and progressive in other ways. And we're getting so divisive that we're losing those nuances. And those nuances were ways of, well, wait a minute, that guy's a Democrat or a Republican, but we can find common ground. But for some reason, it's getting very divisive now.
It's like left or right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not anything in the middle.
Right. Or they're doing Democrat, Republican, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
It's not, that's the whole two-party system
Sucks.
It definitely needs to be some change. But one of the problems that I notice is how a lot of this stuff works. The media is controlled by global corporations. They're no longer controlled by actual freedom of the press like they were before. If you are a news channel, whether you're liberal or conservative or Republican or Democrat, if you're not one of the top tier ones, you're not going to make it. You're not going to get enough people to agree or even credit you as having any type of credibility. So because of that, right now, not the liberals, but the leftists, the ones that want to take a left turn and go all the way into a completely different demographic that America has never been in before.
What I would call the liberal Democrats. Yes.
Yeah. So they want to control all the media outlets because their entire news feed and everything that they work off of is a globalist standpoint as far as the market goes. And they're the ones that, you got Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Nabisco, Keebler, even some of the American beer companies now all over the entire world, and they're being controlled by the stock market and other different countries, to where the United States and the people within their own country aren't the ones that they need to cater towards. They need to cater towards everybody within the global market to keep their sales up, to keep profits up, to keep them making them big fat bonus paychecks. And when you have that controlling the actual media sources that run the big, expensive computers, projectors, microphones, all the different camera systems, you get this whole type of fake news, and you see it even with the right. Because you have these other companies that are trying to fight back just to get their whole point of view as well. And with that globalist market, that's where we're in trouble at, in my opinion, is because what the companies are doing is adversely affecting us as a people. And what works for them over in whatever country doesn't work for us here. And they're the ones that are controlling the media, saying this and that and this and that about who's running, and inadvertently or even advertently brainwashing the young minds. So if you think about it, you have a
I'm disagreeing.
90% of our children are influenced directly with the media. Like 90% of the time. They're on their phones, they're playing video games, they're chatting with their friends via online stuff. So it's not even a country thing anymore. It's a global thing. So all the ads, all the this and that is being pushed to them from who knows where. And that's why you have this great division. It's the young people started this huge thing, and then the media just capitalizes on it. You know, you got one person hits somebody, and it has to be about race or belief. Well, immediately the news is like, they're not going to portray so-and-so who's a responsible gun owner stops two bank robbers by using his gun against them. Well, that's not going to... People are going to be like, well, yeah, that's what people are supposed to do. You know, let's go over this race thing where this one person shot this other person. And it's because the people that are sitting up in the top at the elite spectrum are like, make profits, make bonuses for us. If you don't make profits, the shareholders who are running the stock market, who got this much money in it, are going to start selling shares. We're not going to get our bonus. Nobody gets happy. But they don't apply to us on the ground in our own country.
Damn right.
Okay.
And
Now, I acknowledge what you say, but if you go to the root of the problem, when you're talking about the news, the problem happened. It was, again, we go back to the mid-'90s, under G.W. Bush with the FCC, and it made very little news. It wasn't that important. Now, what's the host's name? Marcus, you're old enough to remember, it used to be when the news came on and they would do an opinion, they had to, when there was an editorial opinion, they, by law, were required to give equal time for somebody for the other side. You remember that?
Right.
And that was done away with under G.W. Bush. And what happened is that allowed the rise of MSNBC on the ultra-liberal side, and that allowed for the rise of Fox and Breitbart.
Right.
And that's where what Charles is talking about, it really, really started that they could concentrate and be overtly one way or the other.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened was in economics, they decided news broadcasts used to have their own budget, be it a newspaper, radio, or TV. And then they decided to clump news in as entertainment.
Yeah. Well, you kind of had to, though, because, I mean, now you've got these
that just
24-hour news cycles.
On top of what G.W. Bush's appointee of the FCC, it just snowballed to where all of a sudden now we have biased news everywhere. And folks, people are, look at me, I'm a big fat fucker. So lazy people, mentally, they don't want to hear bad news all the time. They want to hear news they agree with. So they catered to that. So if you are conservative, you watch this channel and you hear the news the way you want to hear it. And if you're progressive, you listen to this news. And it caused this to happen.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. And you see, and that's why Trump is sprouting fake news. Because in reality, it's all bullshit.
But understand, on the conservative side, there's some fake news there too.
Oh yeah, 100%, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
It's swayed. It's always swayed one way or the other.
It's one group trying to push their agenda. It is. And then when you top it off with social media like Twitter and damn YouTube and Instagram, it's just making it's all compounding and making it a lot worse.
It's totally unregulated.
You know, what people need to learn to do is shut the shit off and formulate their own opinions. And what journalists need to do is they need to quit being biased and just report the facts. I don't care about your opinion. I just want to know the facts. You can think and vote however you want. I don't care. Just tell me the facts. Be truthful with me.
You and I want Walter Cronkite.
Exactly. I want Walter Cronkite back. I do. And these damn celebrities, I don't give a shit about your political opinion. Make the movie, make me laugh, make me, disappear from my own reality for a couple hours. Keep your political opinions to yourself. I could give a shit. That's not what you're paid to do. You're paid to dance, monkey, so dance.
Great.
Dance for your money, monkey.
I said I was going to be quiet, but he had to step away for a while.
No, man.
Hopefully I didn't
He's on Facebook right now and Instagram and Twitter as we speak.
See, Victor, you're part of the problem.
Hey, look.
You can't stay off of social media.
Look, I feel like that the more the debate, the better the show's going to go.
Oh, hell yeah. No.
I like a good debate.
I'm just fucking with you.
We're all master debaters here.
Master debaters.
Master debaters.
I know he and I don't have agree in line politically on everything, but we find
agreements with alcohol.
See, that's the whole point. We don't have to agree on everything. We shouldn't agree on everything. If everybody agreed about everything, how fucking boring would the world be?
Not only that, but if I wanted to start my own town, I wouldn't want just a bunch of conservative dudes running my town. I would want some guys that were also on the liberal perspective to bring an entire other perspective for other people that would be living in the town. And that way, the whole community can exist together and grow versus having a one-sided point or having this great, massive division over complete nonsense.
What we need is good political discourse. We need respect from both sides, and for both sides to be able to sit down willingly and listen to the other's opinion, and just show a little damn common courtesy and some fucking respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It ain't that damn hard to do,
And I am semi the other side. I love my guns.
Yeah, I love my guns too.
There you go.
Are we showing stuff off?
I come unarmed to his house.
Are we showing stuff off tonight?
Well, I know you got a pretty damn good arsenal.
Don't make me whip out my third leg.
No.
Here we go.
I don't know you well enough.
Oh, here we go. Second Amendment.
Now he's going into his gun closet. Damn you. I think this show's a little longer than usual.
Hey, it's fine with me, man. It goes until it ends. This is the best show I've had yet.
Well, look at what Blitz did. He was entertained too.
Yeah.
You see behind you?
Oh yeah.
He fucking destroyed that stuffed animal.
Oh goddamn!
No, he just brought one.
I just brought one.
Oh goddamn! Look at that.
With
Now, is that extended mag legal?
Huh?
I said, is that extended mag legal?
I mean, I don't care, but I'm sure it is.
For now.
For now.
My neighbor is a internal affairs sheriff, so I'm sure it's legal. He told me.
Damn, that's pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
What brand is that?
Huh?
What brand is that?
It is a Kimber 1911 45.
Damn, that sounds expensive.
If you want to say so.
Is that the double stack or single stack?
Yeah, I told you I'm not really living in the slums, so I mean, you know. It ain't as bad as the attachment on the bottom here. I mean, the attachment on the bottom here has got the name Viridian on it, so I mean that tells you what you need to know there.
Not me. I'm kind of new to the whole gun thing. I just got my damn concealed carry.
I know what
8 months ago.
that Kimber is. I
know Charles does.
I like their pair because it's double stack.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the 45 though.
Kimber 1911 with a extended mag, so that would put 11 instead of 8, and it's got a Viridian light and laser, which is supposedly the best thing on the market, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
I can put it this way: we can shine it out in the dark up in the sky, and you can see the laser going as far as you want to.
Oh, cool.
And it's got the green laser, not the red. So
Green Dazzler.
It's definitely not what I'm going to shine in the air at a military.
No, I wouldn't recommend that. No, that might get you in some trouble.
Being a military guy and flying a helicopter, I've learned some things there without having to learn my valuable lessons the way I've always learned them. I think my favorite one, his third leg comment was the AR-10. I am that guy. I have an AR-15 and an AR-10, and I hope I piss somebody off saying that.
Weren't you trying to sell that AR-10, though, a few months ago?
I did not sell it.
But you had it listed, though, didn't you?
I did have it listed for a short amount of time, and it was mainly because I was debating on using it to
Master debating?
Master
debating?
I was master debating on whether or not to use it for funds to buy this house that I'm sitting in right now. However, I found a way not to have to worry about that. I mean, I've got plenty of guns, but I don't want to get rid of them if I ain't got to.
No, I feel you, dude. Yeah, I'm slowly building up my damn arsenal. I got this Taurus G2 Millennium, and then I got me a damn Savage 12-gauge pump. So the next thing I'm looking for is either an AK-47 or a damn AR-15.
AR-15.
I would definitely go with the AR-15.
It just looks badass. It reminds me of damn Red Dawn.
It ain't as effective, man. I'm telling you.
What are you talking about? I hear that those damn things will fire from nothing.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. You're gonna spend a bunch.
So I would go with the AR-15. You can spend what I think, and Charles, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you can spend $400 on the bolt and magazine conversion kit. And as long as you get the right AR-15, the one that does 5.56 and 2.23, you spend $400 on this bolt, and you can actually practice with 22 long rifle.
And you have to do the barrel also.
Do you?
I mean, you're gonna ruin your barrel if you shoot a 22 through a 2.23, 5.56. It's gonna skip around inside.
Gotcha. See, I wasn't sure about that. I do know that they're somewhat convertible and stuff like that. But either way, I would go with that. I have an SKS. It's a Japanese model, so it's pretty much the same as.
I didn't know they had SKS Japanese models.
Or I'm sorry, it might have been. Was it Japanese or Chinese?
Chinese.
Chinese. Okay, I've got the Chinese model. Let me correct myself. I apparently don't know my facts on my guns somewhat.
Well, the SKS was the predecessor to the AK-47, which was a Soviet gun.
Yes, my SKS is a Chinese model, so it's pretty much the same as a AK-47, but with the working mechanisms of an SKS. The clip is on the bottom side. It's got a banana clip, 30-round clip, that kind of thing. To me, it's no different than an AK, and I do like the AK. But if I had to choose between the AK or the AR-15, I'm with Charles. I'd buy the AR-15. In the long run, it's a savings plan, man. I mean, hey, if you needed to get rid of it, you're going to get top dollar for it.
It's hard to get top dollar for an AK. You can buy a $1,000 AK, and then you can't get rid
it's
of
worth
it.
so much. I mean, hey, I'd go with the AR, whether it's the AR-15 or AR-10, that's up to you. Me personally, I can tell you right now, I've got both, and I prefer to shoot my AR-10. Something about that damn round just makes you feel like a man.
Well, shit, man, we're going to have to get up one weekend and go to the range.
What range? I got 12 and a half acres, man.
Well, fuck, I'll be coming to your house then, shit.
No, you only got
Here I got an acre, or almost an acre.
Really?
Yeah, almost an acre.
Enough to shoot 50 yards.
Past the fence there and past the fence there. But anyway, here at this location, I've only got I think it's 0.875 of an acre or some shit like that. But I have 12.65 acres. We can shoot anytime you want to.
All right, sounds good.
Anytime you want to, and I've got my own little arsenal there too. So whatever you want to name. I mean, you want a high standard 22, you want a damn Luger, 44 Magnum, whatever you want, man. We can do it.
All right, shit. Let's make that shit happen.
Shoot it.
Good to know. Actually, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, I've got all kinds of guns, dude.
No, I didn't know. Okay. You have anything set up for shooting?
We can set something up. I mean, it's open land with horses on it and stuff, but I mean, the way it's laid out, it's the top pasture and the bottom pasture. I can close the bottom pasture off. We shoot all day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Food for thought, y'all guys. We can get together and drink beer in person instead of over this internet thing.
Shit works for me, man.
In addition to shooting guns,
my goal in the long term is to make this shit mobile.
Public right now responsibly.
Well, my goal right now is to make this shit mobile. So I've got as soon as I get some extra cash, I'm gonna get some more microphones, a bigger mixing board, and I got my laptop, so I'll be able to take this shit on the road.
Well, look, we can take this mobile and we can actually blow some stuff up and have some fun and do it live.
Hell.
America.
Ain't nothing more fun blowing shit up, goddammit.
Responsibly. We don't want any leftists to think that we're doing anything unresponsible.
Yeah, let's make sure we say that for the cameras, right?
Yeah. Not they'd get it anyway.
Safety first. You got to put your goggles on.
Hell
Look,
yeah.
I'm all about gun safety. I am.
Of course, man. That's how you don't get shot or shoot somebody else by accident.
Look. We presented this one. I'm going to put it up close. The hammer is back, but the safety is on. I'm all about gun safety. Look, it is what it is, man. We gotta. The guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Damn right.
And when it's all said and done with, if you have no guns, I don't care what anyone says. We made cocaine, we made heroin, we made all this stuff illegal, but these motherfuckers still get it. So my opinion is when they make guns illegal and they take them away from everybody, who the fuck you think's still going to have it? The police and the criminals. I would rather have one, be honest with you. And being able to mechanically use it safely I'm assuming from our conversation, Charles, you've been in the military.
Yeah.
Gun safety is the utmost thing. You know, you got
that's how
to
you don't
protect
get
your
shot
brother.
or shoot someone else, especially when you shoot all the time. Because if you practice bad rules, it's inevitable that you're going to shoot somebody or shoot yourself.
Exactly. And you know, and that furthermore, just to kind of alliterate, you know, I feel like that, you know, a lot of these gun problems that people want to complain about is, oh, the kid got a hold of this gun and they shot themselves, or you know, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm sitting here like, you know, kids are going to do whatever is curious to them. If you teach them at an early age, this is not a toy. This is how it should be handled. This is what it is, and this is what happens if you mishandle it. I promise you, the curiosity will never be there, and they will not touch it. I've been thankful, and I never leave my guns laying out, but I've been thankful that to this day, all of my 3 kids will not touch my firearm, period, unless I have given them permission and is standing right over them, helping them hold it.
And of course, since we're in North Carolina, Victor, any unattended firearm has some locking mechanism.
Exactly. I mean, I keep my guns in a safe and you know, all that good stuff. So I mean, you know, they're never unattended, but my point is that, you know, even if we're going out, like I said, you know, we can all go out, we can go shoot. If we go out and my kids are present, they will not. Even if I tell them to go grab it, they'll be like, no, I cannot do that. And you know, it's just the way that I've instilled it. I'm not going to.
See, I went the other way, where they're not allowed to touch it without me.
Yeah.
And when I'm on the firing line,
exactly,
they will handle the gun because I want them to learn how to handle a firearm properly.
Correct, and that's where I was headed with that. Not on the other side of it. That's where I was at.
Your kids are younger than mine.
I'm probably
your kids
that
are
wrong.
younger than mine, so you probably haven't entered. They haven't shot yet.
You know, like I said, I mean, I haven't.
Mine are shooting.
Yeah, and I might have been wording that a little wrong. I apologize for any viewers, but you know, like I said, you know, I'm definitely funny about that, and you know, my kids understand what a firearm is. They understand that it's not a toy. They understand we don't need to touch them.
Yeah, right now we got 2.
Huh?
Oh, we were just looking to see who was viewing right now. Right now we got 2. We were up to like 7 there for a second.
But either way, you know, like I said, you know, I feel like that's one of the other problems with the country is these kids are not familiarized with safety. They're not familiarized with the repercussions of the actions when it comes to that. You know, I'm a firm believer. Hey, I can set my gun in the corner of the room, and I'm sure both of you and he is the same way. He'll never get up, walk legs, and shoot anybody.
Yeah.
But you know, the biggest thing is proper training with that weapon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know, it is a weapon. No matter how you stack it, it is a weapon. But in the same sense,
to me, it's a tool.
It is a tool, but that's what I was getting ready to say. In the same sense, it is a weapon. It all depends on how you teach the person to use that weapon, whether you're going to use it for harm or you're going to use it for self-defense, and understanding the difference between harm and self-defense. And
responsibility factor.
Huh?
Responsibility factor.
Exactly. And you know, that's the problem with what we've been talking about all night. You know, the kids misinformed, uninformed, they accept no responsibility, and they need to be taught responsibility. You know, for their actions, for what they do. You know, hey,
you can't. Yeah, you know, when you pull the trigger, you can't
reverse it.
You can't wish the bullet back.
Nope.
And it's firmly in my kids' minds that they know that.
Exactly. And, you know, in that same sense, if someone breaks into the house, my kids know where my firearms are. If I can't get to them, if something happened to me, I expect them to defend themselves. That's the way I teach them. I'm sorry. I expect them to defend themselves, and it's my older kids. Let me rephrase that. My older kids.
I won't negate that, but my kids have not. They don't have any of the codes.
Well, no, I mean, given the fact that what he just said, but my point is hey, my daughters more than anything know that there's a difference between something good and something bad. And my daughters will know when they need to defend themselves and when they need to call daddy. Plain and simple. And if they can't get in touch with daddy, they know how to get in touch with grandpa. And if grandpa can't do it, they got another grandpa. But either way.
But I have an automatic BB gun and a pistol BB gun. But the kids know how to use that. They're allowed to pick those up when they want.
Yeah.
And so, same thing. They know how to defend themselves.
Absolutely. And I think we would all agree on the fact that, as a father to a daughter, I'm not sure. I don't think Marcus has a daughter, but I'm not sure about Charles there.
I have a son, not a daughter.
Huh?
No, I got a son.
Not a daughter.
And with the daughter thing, I'm very funny about that. I've adamantly told them, hey, Jesus died at 32. When you live to see 32, you can date. But my point is that I'm funny about my daughters. Really, I really am.
Well,
and
so with the responsibility thing on the firearms, it's in my opinion, if you're responsible enough to show maturity and handle a firearm and follow the safety rules all the time, every time, regardless, then that's, to me, when you really reach adulthood. Someone that doesn't, to me, is not an adult. So when I see certain individuals portray things on TV, etc., it's like, so you're telling me you're going to wave something around that can exit a round out the chamber, no takebacks. That round doesn't care that it was an accident. That round doesn't care that it was your child that it was pointing at.
Exactly.
It doesn't care about any of that stuff. It doesn't care about you as a human, as an existence. Just like if you were waving a sword wildly around. It's the same thing, except even on a more dangerous scale.
And in all reality, building on what you just said, it's a material matter. It's not it has no conscience. It is a material. And the person pulling the trigger is the one that has the conscience.
So if you can't handle it responsibly, then you don't have any business having it whatsoever.
Nope.
Exactly. I don't feel that there should be, getting back on our subjects here. My point is, I don't feel there should be a ban on guns.
No.
Oh hell no.
I feel like there should be a stricter
background, mental background, criminal background, and then
a stricter safety course.
Yeah, of course. For me, I would have it be like a driver's license. Every 4 years, they get to check your background if you have a permit. What happens if you have a mental breakdown? Right now, even states that have have background checks. Once you got it, you got it.
Well, so what about vets with PTSD then?
You do the training. What's that?
What about vets with PTSD then?
That's up to the shrink to determine whether or not you.
Well,
I think it's a responsibility thing.
There because
it's a responsibility thing, but I think though we've got to have more resources and spend more money on mental health.
Exactly.
We do. Right now, we're not doing shit hardly for mental health.
And in Pennsylvania, they actually, if you have a court order from, be it male or female, a protection.
Sorry, guys.
Look,
these guys right here.
I don't know if you get panned. How much blitz did over here?
I've got 3 German Shepherds. That's my security system.
He'll start barking, that's for sure. Blitz, get out of the bathroom. Can you move that camera?
What
about the
in Pennsylvania? If you have a PFA against you, be you male or female, protection from abuse, be it male or female.
In North Carolina, if you have any type of domestic violence charge or domestic anything charge, you cannot own a firearm, period.
Yeah, they actually, in Pennsylvania, the sheriff comes out and takes all your guns. And you go to jail if you resist.
Absolutely.
So that's... I don't know if I agree with that, because anytime you start taking guns away from the people, in my opinion, is when you're...
But why do you have a PFA against you? I mean...
Yeah, but that's the same as saying, what happens if you get in too many street fights?
Well, I mean, we can go to the other side of that.
Well, if you get into street fights and you are arrested and you are a felon, no, you shouldn't have a gun.
Well, no, that's with felon. But what happens if you get into a couple altercations, fighting wise, and you get arrested a couple times? Should you not have a gun?
I would do a psychological back. Here's the liberal part of it. You should be entitled to 2 different strengths, not 1, but if 2 strengths agree that you have violent, hot-headed tendencies, yeah, you should be disarmed. There would be less mass shootings if that happened.
Well, and in all fairness, I will say this with North Carolina, and I've sadly, and I honestly I didn't hear the first part of this conversation, so I hope I'm on point. But even with North Carolina, I mean, they have probable cause to seize your firearm, destroy it at the point that you're not telling it that it's in the vehicle or it's on you.
You're driving around, not in your own home, and pretty much basically potentially infecting someone else that comes in your way. And if you aren't responsible enough to declare it to an officer, then yes, take the firearm. But I'm saying in the sense of the whole new red flag law, which allows them to come into your home, that's just a disaster waiting to happen.
Well,
no, I disagree, because the Las Vegas shooting wouldn't have happened with the country band if the guy that state doesn't do a psychological background check, and he wouldn't have been allowed to buy any of those firearms. Which everyone he shot and killed with, he owned legally.
Well, I will say this: I have been stopped before personally, and it just caught me off guard. So here's my thing: I've been stopped personally, and it caught me off guard. I honestly, it's just been a long day. I was tired, and it caught me off guard. It was the middle of the night. I was trying to get home to go to bed, and I had my firearm on me. I do not have a concealed weapons permit, and I do not conceal my firearm. However, at this particular point earlier that day, I had went somewhere that, I couldn't carry my firearm in. So I stuck it between the seat and the console, just so if someone broke in the car, they wouldn't see it. And at that point in time, I did what we did. We were there for a couple hours. Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I'd stuck it there.
Yeah.
And I left, and I got pulled. Literally, I got pulled for no reason. He couldn't give me a reason why he pulled me, which was, in my opinion, illegal to begin with. And I literally forgot it was sitting there. And whenever he asked me to step out of the vehicle, I went to reach for the seatbelt, and next thing I know, this dude's like, "Put your damn hands on the steering wheel." And I'm sitting here like, "Yo, what the fuck did I do wrong?" And what it was he saw my firearm, and he freaked out and this and that, whatever. He told me straight up that was grounds for him to take the firearm right there, period. And I agree with that. He was a very nice police officer. You know, he understood. He listened to what I had to say. He understood, and he was cool. At the end of the day, though, you know, I feel like that, you know, the whole situation with the Las Vegas thing, I think he has the right to have his arms. Honestly, I think he has the right to have his arms. However, I don't personally understand how he made it in the hotel with that amount of firepower.
So this goes back to what my opinion is on responsibility. So his brother and nephew had stated some things about that individual that they were like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me, basically. So with that being said, that should be their responsibility to literally be like, we should be
responsibility.
So when we keep making laws and keep making laws and keep making laws and keep making laws and keep making laws, all of a sudden, everybody is going to be breaking the law. And that's when you have a power.
I'll build on the law. The one law I can't stand, and you know, I know we're cutting a lot further over a time than what we normally do, but the one law I can't stand is this Class 3 federal thing. You know, the Constitution plainly says that we have the right to bear arms. And
you hyphenated it. In a militia,
No, I know what it says. It says a
well-regulated militia.
Yes, a well-regulated militia.
So
now
any
with
regulations they impose.
But with that being said, with us having all males having to register for the draft, we are a regulated militia at that point. In my opinion. So at that, and I might be wrong, but my point is, if we are registered for the draft, if we decide not to join the military and they have the right to pull us in as a military, we are a militia.
I agree.
A militia. And at that point in time, then we have the right to bear arms, any type of arms, and do whatever, as long as we are regulated, and I agree.
You think
now,
machine guns?
But my point is that this law was made, yes, when we had muskets and all that stuff. But my opinion is that the times advanced, this and that, whatever. I don't understand why I cannot own UMP 45.
I agree with you, man.
I don't understand why I cannot put a grenade launcher on my fucking damn AR-15.
Why can't I have a rocket launcher?
Okay,
but hold on. I mean, it's just a conversation. I understand you disagree, and that's fine.
You know what? Fuck that. I want a tank.
But my point is that I don't understand why that is regulated in the sense that I registered for the draft. I am able to be a military person if they need me to be. So why can I not have the same privileges as a military person?
What happens?
Amen, brother. Where's my amen?
Above the age of selective service.
Okay,
then now you are not regulated.
Well, also one, you didn't actually serve and do your training.
Huh?
You didn't serve and do your training.
I understand that too, but in that same sense.
Well, yeah, but I wanted to serve in my training until I was too fat.
Well, man,
in that same sense.
All the time. Well, maybe you should
in that same sense.
Well, dude, I mean, Jesus Christ. At the time I was 19, I only weighed like 180 pounds. I was only 30 pounds overweight. I'd have lost that shit in basic.
So look,
that's when they made the shit all restrictive and damn, you know.
So also me and my extracurricular activities, you know, I am I'm working to be a full member of the Freemasons. And George Washington was one of the first Freemasons in the country, and with that being said, you know, his whole thing was that he added that amendment into the whole situation was because we are supposed to be sufficiently armed to protect and feed our families, but also against an unjust government.
Well, you're correct.
So, with that being said, then
But
why?
it's supposed to be a well-regulated militia. So
Right.
There was never supposed to be a national standing army, which happened anyway. And now we're
Well, in all reality, I mean, if we look at Davidson, Randolph, and Guilford County, statistically, in North Carolina, we're more armed than any other counties in the entire country.
Because they're pussies.
Huh?
Because they're pussies.
But my point is that if shit hits the fan in this country, who you think is going to
Well, no, of course.
protect this country?
Of course. We could do that
The
we could do
veterans?
that with ARs. We don't need UMPs,
The
'cause
veterans
those are
are
worthless
going to
anyway.
protect this country without hesitation, do their oath. But then you're going to have all of us, conservatives or Republicans or the people that are going to stand up and say, hey, we got your back as retired veterans or whatever, or military. Hey, I can tell you right now, I've met a lot of cops, and I've been in one situation, one situation.
You know, personally, my opinion, I think it needs to be a law that when you turn 18, you have to have a gun.
Well, wait.
I think
I'm gonna
there needs to
disagree
be
with
less
that
laws,
one.
and I think there needs to be more parental.
I'm going to disagree with
responsibility.
that one to a certain extent. I'm
I've
going
met
to
a
say
lot of crazy people.
I'm going to say that I agree with what Israel does. When you turn 18, you serve 2 years in the military, mandatory.
Well, I'm all for that.
Learn how to use that weapon.
I'm
Okay,
okay
but then
with
after you get to keep the gun.
mandatory.
Huh?
But then after you get to keep the gun.
Yes, absolutely.
They say,
You know, in Israel,
that's essentially what I'm saying.
the teachers carry AKs on their back.
We got to build the wall first.
Exactly. Whatever. We can do that too.
Switzerland actually issues guns to their civilians,
Absolutely.
but they do training sessions and they do psychological evaluations.
But my point is, I think every man, woman, child, whatever, blah, 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 they hit the age of 18. I agree with what Israel does. They serve 2 years in the military to learn how to defend their country, defend themselves and their family, and use a firearm safely and properly.
A lot of countries move in toward military.
And I feel like at that point, it doesn't matter. I mean, there's no secret that that in my opinion, you know, they always say statistically, the U.S. military you can take, and I might be overstretching myself here, but they say statistically is what I learned in civics and economics and history and all that shit, is that you can take our military, you can take any other two militaries, put them together, and we got it licked. Now, if there's more than that, then we got a problem. But the point is if we take our civilians and train them in the same perspective, untouchable.
We got too much division right now to start training people, arming people.
Exactly. Because, I mean, we had this scare.
Well, you know, I love the liberal argument that, you know,
and
it don't do no good to have no guns because, you know, you can't revolt against the damn government because they've got damn tanks and fucking rockets and damn missiles and
Man,
shit.
the Taliban did pretty good against us.
I'm like, am I the only one that saw Red Dawn, Wolverines? It's all about guerrilla warfare.
And I will say this. Look, you know, all that stuff is whatever. You know, you train the people. You give them the abilities that they need, and we'll all stand together. And if these people that think we need to ban guns would understand,
Man, my aunt's bringing up Krav Maga. Look at this shit.
Yeah, Krav Maga's all groin
But
attacks. That shit works.
Really?
if
Oh,
Well-
dude, they fuck your nuts up in Krav Maga, man.
I want to learn some Krav Maga. I want to fuck nuts up.
people
Wait a minute,
that-
that didn't come out right.
if these people that want to ban guns,
We're
my
not in
opinion,
the chat,
if these
man.
people that want to ban guns,
Let me rephrase that.
so if these people that want to ban guns would understand that if
Yeah, man,
and you know, I say this way because most of them are anti-Trump, but if they would understand that Russia would be knocking on our door right now if it wasn't for him.
Damn Skippy.
I might be wrong. That's my opinion. I'm sorry if I offend. But in my opinion, if it wasn't for him, Russia would be knocking on our front door right now, and there wouldn't be a damn thing those people that want to ban guns could do about it.
Well, let me ask you something.
All right.
Do you think Trump's a Russian plant? Do you think he's colluding with the Russians?
You know what? I really don't care. The point is, they didn't send nukes over here. They didn't send arms over here. We're good. And they made it very public that if Hillary would have won the election, they would have.
Damn Skippy.
I'm just saying.
And in my opinion, he colluded with them. I don't think to ruin the United States, just to win the election. He is an egomaniac. He wanted to be president. He talked about it in the 80s.
So I'll play devil's advocate on what he just said, and I'll be like, look, Mama always taught me to keep my enemies close, and a lot more closer than my friends.
Actually, I don't think Trump wanted to be president. I think he was just doing it because he found out Gwen Stefani was making more money than him on the than he was on the damn Apprentice. And he got pissed off.
He did not expect to win, but he wanted to win.
I think he won. He was like, well, fuck, now what? And I think the people surrounding him was like, well, hey, man, I think you could do this. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I don't think intentionally he ever really wanted to be president. But I'll tell you this. So far, I think he's doing a pretty damn good job.
Let me ask you, have you filed your taxes yet?
Yeah. No, not yet. But, hey, I don't plan on getting the refund that I got last year because I've been paying more. I've been holding out. I've been getting more back in my paycheck.
It's going to be a tax scam for the rich only. We're going to pay more taxes. It's fact. Everybody said everybody's going to, of lower middle class are going to pay 19% more than they did last year.
So I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, but I've been getting 19% more every week when I get paid.
Pay next to nothing.
So it all works out.
So
I've been getting 19% more in my paycheck every week. So it all works out. It does.
Yeah, but they get the 19% more plus don't pay less taxes. And the deficit is raising faster than it ever has under any other president right now. So that tax program was a total bomb. Unless you're rich.
So here's
all I know is when I look at my paycheck now, it's more than it was under Obama, and I'm fine with that because I live paycheck to paycheck.
So do I.
So every little damn bit helps.
So here's my question, and this goes, y'all guys live paycheck to paycheck. I kind of do, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do.
Oh, what are you fucking E.F. Hutton? You got stocks and shit that we don't know about?
The rich fucker of it.
No, I'm just saying.
He's bankrolling, man.
Define.
Goddamn, let me hold a fucking 20.
Look. Define.
Can you
define?
Can you lend me 200?
Actually, I could. Define lower middle class as far as salary, and then we'll have this conversation. And that's a question for both of you, honestly.
Lower middle class, I would say, be about $35K a year.
Middle class?
Lower middle class.
Lower middle class.
Yeah, lower middle class, I would put about $35K a year.
Is that both incomes or just one or what?
Well, I'm a single income family, so.
Okay.
But that's not what I make.
Hey, what would you consider middle class?
Well,
what would you consider?
I'm going to get a little, not technical, but verbose, and say that my degree is in economics. And I don't use it. Long story, I'm not going to get into it. But economists break everything up into 9 classes. You got lower class, lower middle class, high lower class. Then you got low middle class, middle class, higher middle class. Then you got
Okay, so
and the United States government.
we're talking about middle. What's
The United States government says that a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 children, dependents, don't meet the poverty level until $17,000. You tell me how you can house your spouse and 2 kids on 17 grand a year.
You can't.
You can't. So it's a total falsehood.
Well,
We're
saying opinions. What's your opinion on middle class?
We have to go with the facts and say that if we're talking about lower middle class, middle class,
Middle class.
middle class is close to what he says.
35?
Yeah, 35 to
Goddamn,
45.
I'm upper middle class then. Fuck yeah.
Okay, so what would you consider upper class?
Well, I mean, if we're going by if middle class,
going by what you're saying tax wise.
if you're saying middle class is 35, then I would have to fall into the upper middle class range because I'm right at 52.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
So with that being said, what would you consider high class?
Well, you got lower, upper class, middle,
I mean, shit,
upper
even
class,
the upper middle class, I'm fucking struggling.
What would you Hey Marcus,
Yeah.
what would you consider falls under this tax thing? What price range?
What tax thing?
What you're saying where they benefit from the taxes?
Exactly.
What's the lowest number you would benefit from?
Where
this
they're
tax?
benefiting a lot from the Trump tax.
Now I hope you tell me the right number because I'm going to prove you wrong.
65?
Okay, you told me the wrong number.
Okay,
Me and my wife make almost $110,000 a year, and they eat my ass alive in taxes. I don't even get anything back.
Have you filed yet?
I don't even get anything
Have
back.
you filed this year yet?
Okay, so between you and your wife, you're paying over 110,000. You're making over 110,000 a year.
Yes, and I don't get anything back.
But
Because I entered into a higher tax bracket, I don't get anything back.
Well, I mean
You're a tax guy, man.
last year I broke even. I didn't owe. Well, no, actually, I only owed the federal $200.
I'll put it this way. Last year, this past year, this paycheck was the first paycheck my wages wasn't garnished for taxes. So, if that tells you anything, I'm maybe if we're in the millions of dollars, then I might agree with you. But
Does your wife work too?
my wife and I both work. She makes more money.
See, I'm a single income household.
Yeah.
And I file head of the household. I actually.
But you're proving my point. Trump doesn't help the upper middle class. They help the upper class only.
Well, that's why I said, like I said,
The top 1%.
I don't know what it's like to make more than what I make, but I can tell you right now, they are taking $100 a month out of my check.
Don't let him rip that up.
Well,
And
again,
and
that's probably true.
last year,
But all I can tell you is that now I see more money in my paycheck when I get paid than I did under Obama.
Well, see, I don't.
I do.
I see more money being taken out.
Okay. Yeah.
See, me personally, I see more money getting taken out. Just being real with you. I mean, I see more money taken out than what I used to get. Now,
Should have made better career choices, man. What can I say?
Burn.
I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
Back to back. Man.
I'm fucking with you.
I'm just saying, I see more money being taken out, but I will say this. When my taxes come back, I have 3 children that are filed as child income. And last year, my income tax, I saw $1,000. That was it, with 3 children on it.
Well, I'm gonna be interested to see how I do when I do file my taxes. I haven't done it yet because I mean I claim 8 dependents.
As a matter of fact,
I ain't gonna lie.
As a matter of fact, that's how I got that AR-10 last year. But you know, like I said, I will disagree on that on that standpoint, but only because you know I don't see it from a standpoint of you know making millions of dollars like Trump. Now, them people making millions of dollars a year, they might be getting that 19% you're talking about.
Well, you know, I mean, again though, you talk about people that know how to play the loopholes.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, if you've got the money to hire a damn CPA that can find the loopholes for you, you know, I mean, what's that?
Well, the problem, Marcus, is the new tax thing took all the loopholes away from the lower class and the middle class,
Exactly.
and left the loopholes open for the the middle upper class and the upper class.
And you know, I feel like honestly, because I'm not gonna lie to you, you know, like, you know, we make good money, but when it comes to the bills and all that stuff, I mean, it really ain't that much money.
Oh yeah.
At this point in time, you know.
Well, that'll be a discussion for the next podcast.
Growth. And my wife makes.
We'll have to get into that more deeper then.
$1,000 gross.
You're not very far,
Yeah,
from where we're at. But my point is that, you know, like, my point is that, you know, right now with the way the economy is and the way everything's going, you know, 100,000 a year, we'll just say 100,000 a year, to me, in my opinion, is middle class now. I mean, it is. I mean, you know,
well,
look, I'll be honest with you. I'm like y'all. I live paycheck to paycheck. But, you know, I just bought the house, this and that, whatever. But, I mean, I live paycheck to paycheck.
That's a problem with corporate America.
You know, under Obama and Bush, the middle class was almost wiped out. You know,
Yeah.
And under Trump, at least it's starting to make somewhat a comeback.
Yeah.
I disagree.
And you know, to be honest with you, you know, me and my wife, it's a lot of hard work and sweat involved to get there. But if it wasn't for my wife, we would be in, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, we would be in worse shape than both Brian and you put together.
Well, if I had another income in my household helping me out, I'd be in a lot better damn shape. But, you know.
I understand.
It is what it is. But anyway, look, it's we're hitting 11 o'clock. We've been running this now since what? Shit. Oh, we set a new record. 2 hours and damn 15 minutes. So I want to thank you guys for joining. Victor, had a great time. Happy birthday, buddy.
I appreciate it.
And it was Billy, right?
Brian.
Okay.
Brian with a Y.
Brian with a Y. Brian, it was great having you on. I hope to have you both on again soon.
I was see if you were going to ban me.
No, hell no, man. I always love differentiating opinions, man.
So we doing this every Friday, right?
Well, you know, I do it every Friday from 8:30 until whenever. I do. I'm hoping to do it more where it's going to be more of a roundtable discussion where I've actually got guys sitting together in the same room, you know, 4 microphones talking politics, you know, pop culture, music, you know, whatever. That's what I'm shooting for. But for right now, we're starting out pretty good, I think.
Does he normally send you the topics early?
If I ask, yes, he will.
Yeah, don't forget to, that's what he said, that don't forget to send the topics early so that he's more informed.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, definitely.
And you have my number. Just text me what we're going to talk about, and we can make this a regular thing. That's
Hell
for sure.
yeah, man. But yeah,
definitely.
I'm real happy how things went tonight, man. So
The Sloppy Bro Show needs some more viewers, and I'm going.
Damn right, man. We gotta get this channel built. I gotta make that YouTube money.
I'm going to promote it in as much as I can. So we're going to try to get this working.
I can be a guest spot every once in a while as the asshole that everybody makes fun of.
That'll work too, Brian. Love to have you.
But yeah, we're gonna try to help you get this thing going, and hopefully it'll be a good weekly thing. A couple beers, and every once in a while we can all get together and do it all in one room if you want to. And
that's the game plan.
That's the one thing. It being the Sloppy Show.
Yeah, the Sloppy Bro Show.
I need to see more of what you just did right there. You didn't do much of that.
Oh shit, man! I've been doing. Hell, I'm already on damn beer 12.
We're on shot. We're on shot 6 and beer 5.
Victor and I have been carrying your ass on the sloppy part. You're a heavy load, dude.
Hell yeah!
So, look. We're gonna have to do a halftime show of the cracking of the beer first and foremost, and the second part is we're gonna have to figure out a good toast for the end of the show. Oh, he's thinking. He's got it.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of shit in the works.
Okay, well I got the toast for the end of the show.
Put that down. Pick that up.
Well, let's hear
it. All right.
Pick your beer up.
You ready?
I'm ready.
To lying, cheating, and stealing.
To lie, cheating, and stealing.
Lie to our enemies, cheat death, and steal a woman's heart.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one. I like
Cheers.
that.
All right, you guys have a good night. And for those of y'all watching, we appreciate you getting involved with the chats and everything. And we will be doing this again next Friday at 8:30 p.m. So if you didn't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button so that you guys will be ready.
Absolutely.
All right. Cheers, guys. Enjoyed it. You guys have a good night.